Well, here we are again, giving an update to what I call the Farm Crisis 2025. A farm crisis based on 5 steps, as I've illustrated before, and we are now well into step number 5, where overproduction causes crop prices to crash.
Planting time in Illinois. Most of Illinois and Iowa's 60 million acres of farmland have sat barren for the past 7 months. Let me remind you that cover crops not only regenerate the soil, but also have the potential to sequester a significant amount of carbon, estimated at approximately 180 million metric tons of CO2 across those 60 million acres. By planting cover crops, we could drive all the gas and diesel burning vehicles we want across the entire Midwest, from Montana to Ohio to Texas, and have a zero carbon footprint year after year. Well, anyway, how's it looking for our Midwest farmers this spring? Let's check with the University of Illinois' Agricultural Extension Service located on the richest farmland in the Midwest. The FarmDoc website provides the latest information and advice for Illinois farmers, which means almost all their data is relevant to growing corn and soybeans. They've forecasted the costs and incomes for growing corn and soybeans across 4 regions of Illinois: Northern, Central High, where I am, Central Low, and Southern. These yields vary because of soil variations and growing seasons. The input costs are what's needed to produce the maximum yield for that region. The sales is computed based on the futures price of that commodity coming this fall. What is the forecast? A loss in every region, about $70 per acre for corn and $50 per acre for soybeans. This is unbelievable for the richest farmland in the world. Certainly farmers are going to do something different. The USDA recently surveyed farmers to determine what they will plant this year. Guess what? They will plant more corn than ever before, over 95 million acres. Why? If a small business landscaper knew his income for the year was going to drop due to bad weather, competition, a loss of market, wouldn't they make immediate changes? If an orchestra held concerts and no one showed up, would they continue to play the same music at the next concert? This is the self-governing of free markets. The nature of the free market forces businesses to provide superior products and services that address consumers' needs. Is there something wrong with our farming? No. We pay farmers to do this. It's that simple. Almost 25% of a farmer's income comes from direct payments from the government, the U.S. taxpayer. This year it's projected to be $42 billion. The first $10 billion has already been deposited into farmers' accounts. How did it get divided? For planting corn last year, farmers get $43 per acre, and for soybeans, $30 per acre, directly deposited into their checking accounts with no questions or contingencies attached. Maybe this is a good use of our tax dollars. Where is all this corn used? About 45% goes to making ethanol, a product mandated by the U.S. government to be blended into gasoline up to 10%. For 20 years, academic studies have been demolishing the benefits of ethanol. The University of Minnesota alone has found ethanol requires more energy than it produces, 2002. It does not make the U.S. less dependent on foreign oil, 2004. It affects the food supply, 2006. It does not stabilize the agricultural economy, 2006. Look what we have today, the worst farm economy since the farm crises of the 1920s and 1980s. It does not reduce the carbon footprint, 2008. It does not improve air quality over petrol fuels, 2017. The University of Wisconsin has recently solidified the last 2 findings with a foundational study endorsed by the Academy of Sciences. Through intricate attention to detail, the study found that ethanol has a 24% higher carbon footprint than just burning gasoline. The next primary market for field corn is animal feed. Not much has to be said about the importance of this to our needs. Red meat is bad for our health, and we learn more about that all the time. Next is exports, which we know will decrease as Mexico is against GMO corn. Secondly, corn and soybeans are becoming bartering items in the new tariff wars. But there's an even worse trend happening. For the past 3 years, we've imported more food than we've exported, and it's exponentially increasing. We don't grow the food we need. Imported foods include fruits, vegetables, and nuts, all necessary for a healthy diet. And now, with tariff wars, maybe we haven't thought of the food security concerns this may bring onto ourselves. And lastly, about 2% of that corn is used for food. Most dietitians refuse to call it that, instead labeling it as highly processed ingredients in snacks, breakfast cereals, and soda pop. Don't you think it's time to stop funding corn and soybeans? Let it be a free market. Midwest farmers will tell you they want a free market. How does 25% of your income as direct government payments and the largest market for your product mandated by the same government make this a free market? It's time to stop funding corn and soybeans. Please pass this on and tell someone else. Our farmers can be farmers. We have to offer better incentives for them to produce healthy food for today and the future.
I felt normal and the world spun so slow. Can't go back, that I know. Clouds are gathering, can't see where to go.